third possessed. As soon as I saw that, I was like, shit, it's about to go
Watch
down.
and see it's a big one there.
You can see everything as it's moving into the big event. As Night of the Living Pharmacist title has been revealed, instead of like the normal we see it, and it flips as it sees the electric stand as the pharmacist show, which is gonna foreshadow what's gonna happen in this episode. Also, this is the 8th and final Halloween theme episode, unless it's something happened in season 5, which involves the Nightmare later, and some of them don't take place in Halloween, which is another wonder, but has a horror theme to it. You see a blue footprint as the electric stand turns into green, revealing it. I like how the green footprint merges into the writer's names. And you can see the platypus footprint as it becomes a normal shoe, revealing that Perry freaking sick. And look at the shadow overlapping the Flynn Fletcher's house, even though it's daytime as time passes. I haven't seen that since the second dimension, the opening scene. This is like a video game first person mode, like you controlling Isabella Garcia Shapiro, which is actually her approaching the backyard. Also, the title Night of the Living Dead and also Dawn of the Dead, not the Zack Snyder version, is written by George Romero, who's going to appear in this episode. And you thought Isabella scares Phineas, but it's actually her approaching him. In Isabella's point of view, I like how the camera zooms in as she approaches Phineas fast. Behind Isabella, you see another Finn Fletcher's house, which is animated era, as we're going to see a lot in this episode.
We're just building a new polymer decycler for the binding catalyst. Something I want to tell you.
There are 3 episodes that tied someone interrupting Isabella telling how she feels about Phineas, as she is blushing right there to try and reveal her crush towards him.
Nice bird, new power supply. Hey, what's shaking, bacon?
And this is the second time in season 4 that Beefy interrupt Isabella since Happy Birthday Isabella, and now this. And what shaking bacon is actually a reference to Sir Francis Bacon.
Bacon does not shake. Sir Francis Bacon. I stand corrected. The rubberization rate and rubber-like qualities.
So he means like he can bounce anywhere or jump higher. Production order of the original one. That is the last time we will say where's Perry. The jacket he's wearing. It started off in Vanessa with roughness.
Your glossy teeth, so uninteresting, so cool.
I really love you can see different type of magazines in the background. They're doing a good start.
I will ever be this cool.
Well, Candace, you always been cool. What are you talking about?
Super high def intelligent multi-format home entertainment DVR system.
Stacy's not focused around this episode, but her scenes are very funny, which actually makes it amazing. And also, this is their last appearance in the production order. Well, you lucky you found Vanessa right in front of you. Let's see that again. It would have been better if Candace become more expressive in this scene, like in season 5 at times, even though I want to say that.
Shopping, I mean, duh.
And this is the 6th time that Candace and the dance is actually a reference to the Saturday Night Fever.
Wow, did the Dingleberry Pie House is having some friends.
The gang are very super creative when it comes to making invention for themselves and for others. You can hear the quirky worky song going looper looper loop while Balji is bouncing around the tree. You will feel flexibility in your body if you do that. That will make it a lot of fun, but will it feel pain? And they have higher jumping speed than a normal athlete. Google Pets War, and this is the last time we're gonna see it in the original one. Balji bought chits while Phineas bought bouncing while the lights going on. Nice. And she's bouncing like Beefy. Lucky she's made out of rubber.
So she'll be here. I bet you all the muffins that have something to do with Phineas.
Once again, the fireside going revolves around Isabella and Phineas's relationship, and that won't be the into night time. You get to see how the color palette change with Dufa either incorporate and the sky. That is so cool. It's animated very well.
This foreign art film I found.
This room is very laid out very well. You get to and he said play the purple. That would have caught Candace's attention, but I'm fine with that.
This is amazing. I'm at an actual party with cool older girls. They're awesome.
Even though they're watching foreign fields, Candace, I really make sure that she really enjoyed it knowing about Vanessa and her life.
Totally hook this thing up. It's a
Oh, Stace, it's like the same thing when we see it.
I'm about to give it a whirl.
Oh, Stacy, she used the remote and the other guy's TV. His identity would have been exposed again.
Violent and quiet.
You can hear a peaceful soundtrack as they're fighting with pillars, which makes it awkward.
Holly and Esther.
You hear that soundtrack? We heard that soundtrack again from where's that? You heard that before. I recommend you check that.
I think it's overheated.
The first person who's gonna turn it. Second one is Melanie as she's slowly transforming into a pharmacist as the white lamp coat transforming as her face slowly transforms into a pharmacist, morphing into it. That is great Everything is about to go down in Act 3. Oh boy. I like how they bounce during the night as the light reflects it as it goes off and they get away from it. That is very, very cool. Is this the day that Isabella finally reveals her true feeling towards Phineas? No, we were so close and this happens.
Is this fireside?
It's a book. She doesn't know what pharmacists mean, but you will soon in Candace Against the Universe and Jugan Fest. Pause and yet, front-face Phineas and Night of the Living Pharmacist. Isabella meeting Fireside, which will be the last time we see her for a while, until she appears in the cabin. It's not just the giant floating baby head turned into a mindless pharmacist, it's Isabella's mom as well. But she's worried about Fireside, but not her mom, which is strange. Another front face, and they do need to haul ass because they're running out of bounce and it's wearing off. Two front face Phineas, we didn't see into a mindless pharmacist.
If he touches, you turn into a pharmacist too?
And that's true, if you get infected. Could be good or bad. The good thing is for a year, which actually takes a long time, but you see it now. It's the Andrews sisters. Haven't seen them for a while. I like how you see the plates, the cups, and all of that. Poor Jeremy, even though he doesn't have a speaking appearance, which we don't need anyway, he's getting turned into a pharmacist. Imagine Candace saw that, she would be pissed. Looks like Django's dad was turned into a pharmacist while paying a meal of doofenshmirtz. Look at the mindless pharmacist infected has to create a doof sign, which we see many with different signs with other things in real life. You see mindless pharmacists walking away from Doofenshmirtz, the Heinz one that isn't affected, and that's going to be the reason why he had enough. Oh no, it's been destroyed. I can't really blame the gang, they didn't know at the time, but they are completely screwed because There's no time to rebuild it because pharmacists will come closer to them.
Mrs. Trash the machine.
Should do it inside. There's too many pharmacists.
And that's a smart thing to do it inside while pharmacists is another one, another one, another one. This is gonna become a meme every time I see France Fake Phidias.
Calm down, Buford.
WJOP TV, which is actually a broadcast version of a TV version of the
So? Yeah, no biggie.
that swirling music again. We heard that from the Where Cow episode.
Here, could you please just...
Vanessa wasn't really facing to the mindless pharmacist attacking her. Since girls are in shock to see this, this is not a surprise because it's gonna affect everyone.
I get it. Look, even by my dad's standards.
She does know that her father
Chill out.
It's fine. I've got no bounce left. Love blackout.
unless someone tries to rob you or hurt you, sometimes seriously.
I should have just hung out at Stacy.
And Stacy doesn't look behind, which is great.
I just love blackout.
Unless someone tries to rob you or hurt you, sometimes blackouts can be a bad thing.
I'm Lauren.
Even though it's a mindless pharmacist, Linda still doesn't remember who Doofusmus is since they went on a date and they never met ever again. But Lawrence did a few times when he became evil, which we saw in Bullseye. A mindless pharmacist touches the film flesh as you get to see turning into a pharmacist as they morph into it. Another good transformation so far. Oh, look at this weird thing of Linda before she becomes a fully pharmacist.
Oh no, they got Mom and Dad.
Another one.
What repair these circuits?
Looks like Phineas and the gang are completely fucked unless they find a way.
Wait, Zoom! Zoom! What's happened, generator? I learned judo, hapkido, and jujitsu patches.
So that means Isabella is a skill. Even though Isabella and everyone knows Isabella, they know each other for a lot of years. To build up of confidence, rubber darts, a clown suit, a canoe, and all of that. This can become good and you. Good man. As Monaghan gets infected, you get to see he morphs his beard. There's trouble ahead.
Everywhere. She's probably still a Phineas and Ferb.
She's under the lodge, but they don't know it yet.
Perimeter alert! Put out that light. Friend or pharmacist?
It's us. Let us in.
Imagine they didn't say that and pharmacists right in the trail. They would have been screwed.
It's Phineas and Ferb. And Balls.
I really like how Addis is looking at it. It's like we don't have as much time because pharmacist is gonna be on us any minute. And we get more Belgian gingerbread come. Not as much, but yeah.
Are you here?
Isabella's still out there?
And she's probably wearing a lab coat by now.
Oh boy, you have no idea.
The odds of anyone survive is small.
If anyone can do it, Isabella can.
I really love the voice actors putting a lot of effort in this episode with the pharmacist happening. That is great.
Sooner or later, they're gonna figure out when they're gonna come in here. They're gonna lock it down so no one is gonna get in here. You hear me?
Man, he got bitch slapped by Gretchen and tells him to make sure that he's straightened up.
I'm so in love with her right now.
That's the third time he said that. He said that in the second dimension. He said that in the Gordian Knot episode, and now this with Gretchen. They're actually fan for of Buford and Gretchen together, and I wouldn't mind this either. As much as I Bridget, I wouldn't mind Buford having a romantic couple, but then again, also I wouldn't mind him and Baljeet becoming together, which is this is in Act 2.
Oh, you lost track of you.
There's no time for you.
And they know it as well. This is going to play a huge part in At Your Age.
Only non-pharmacists left in Danville. Now, where this started, and how it started, and reverse it.
I really love that Isabella tries to find a way to reverse it. She is a true fireside girl leader.
Now where it started.
We know it's 6 feet and 2 inches.
The song is called Triangulation, which is actually sung by Isabel. Look at her in the dark, covering the shadow while the moon is showing. That is... And let them in.
Close the window.
Now,
The longer it keeps going, the more tension it's gonna create for them to get turned into a pharmacist. I'm front face.
Noted. I'm sure we'll find our answers.
Look at her in the dark, covering the shadow while the moon is showing. That is dope. Patrick putting the screen.
let's go.
That's what Johnny said in Duke 101 as well.
This is why we broke up.
A Finabella Phineas is holding Isabella's hand. That shows you why the Vampocalypse line doesn't work for me. We've seen Phineas and Isabella holding their hands so many times, but this doesn't work in Vampocalypse, and it felt out of place. But this works here because it's building up to something. And they are surrounded, and they're gonna get turned into a pharmacist. At least it bought Phineas and the gang time. The purple stack comes as Gretchen becomes a pharmacist, as her nose comes first as the pharmacist's clothes comes up, as she gets dragged into it, as she becomes a pharmacist. As it cuts the commercial, you get to see two different angles of Isabella's looking at the glass. They sacrifice themselves, so you have to save yourself and find a way.
Something to block this door. Hurry! I'm exposed.
Mindless pharmacists can be done, but I like how he takes off the rubber as he exposes Phineas.
Thanks. You alright?
I'm
We still don't see them revealing their feelings towards each other. At least Phineas is checking on Isabella. Isabella Breadcrumb, I guess.
I'm okay.
The mindless pharmacist touches his face as Valjean's going to turn into a pharmacist. That is pretty smart because his face doesn't have rubber. Valjean grows taller as he becomes a pharmacist, like a caterpillar, like that, as he transforms it. Could have been better, but okay.
Buford, what are you doing?
And I really love that Buford trying to sacrifice his friends to make sure they protect them, to keep them safe. But you could have come with them anyway. And you know that's a reference to Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Another one.
It's locked.
My heart was racing right there. I knew this was the end until I thought it was.
Yeah, dude.
I'm petrified beyond all capacity for rational thought.
The quote that Phelps said is a reference to Ghostbusters.
Can it?
Isabella, bird.
This is a reference from the Rocky Horror Show and Shrek. I thought it was about Stacy getting caught by the helicopter with a mindless pharmacist. I would be shit scared of this.
My dad's floor. He was crawling with them.
This film is not as iconic, but Candace, Vanessa, and Isabella. And don't forget, in the future, there could be future sisters-in-law. And they did found it, even though Isabella's voice kind of sounded like Mickey Mouse.
To get rid of all those zombies.
You mean pharmacists, but zombies at the same time. Looks like you got your wish as it's spinning around. I have no idea spinning a helicopter will actually hurt the pharmacist, but it works and it bought some time.
Strange and unusual.
You mean you because you live here.
Ah, right.
You. Okay, so what did you do?
It's because you overcharge it way too much with the wires and all that stuff, which is the reason why the repulsinator becomes like a mindless pharmacist zombie raid by infecting everyone.
electrostatic charge that's changing everybody. The conductor that neutralizes.
Water neutralizes static.
Water should change everyone back.
Whenever the water touches electricity, it becomes static as everything goes off. And the water turns the mindless pharmacist back to normal. So why couldn't they... Huge part towards the end.
Spare parts laying around here.
I really like how they're building something from the platform to get into the Danville water supply, as the pharmacist could wake up any moment now. And this is the second time that Phineas urges him not to use the self-destruct button since the second dimension when he removed it. And you hear that soundtrack in the background, it is actually the theme from the beat.
Let's do them up. And don't forget to rubber up.
You need to haul ass quickly, otherwise you'll get infected. Divert doing the crane kick position, just like we've seen in Karate Kid, which is a reference.
Are you wearing it?
Well, everyone else was dressing up.
That's it. Everything's built.
That's a reference to the Dirty Dozen, but you're doing this while the mindless pharmacist is closing in on you.
Oh, attach the connecting clock with the vortex sprayer.
Yes, we can't hold them much longer.
I agree with Vanessa. You could have just gone there and explained. They are taking so long, they better hurry before they get turned into. It's taking a long time.
Great shot, Bert.
And she compliments Ferb's badassery once again, just as always. No wonder that Ferb and Vanessa end up together in At Your Age.
Behind you.
Candace! No!
It's pretty underwhelming that Candace turns into a pharmacist instead of morphing into it. And I really love Vincent Martel. In touch, he turns into a pharmacist straight away, which is kind of underwhelming. One of the most underwhelming transformations. This is the first time Perry the Platypus happened, but in this special, we had to wait for it. Vanessa slowly transforms into a pharmacist as the electric scatters around her, as her chin grows bigger, as eyes and all of that morphing into like Doofenshmirtz does as a mindless pharmacist. This is what Candace and Perry transformation should have been. As much as I like Doofenshmirtz, it's kind of your fault. It's the reason and infecting everyone else. And he's taking his clothes off like Buford. You can see Doofenshmirtz is wearing a jumper, but he's wearing an undersleeve or a short sleeve in recent episodes. And that's going to be a callback. That's something that he didn't hear from Buford. And also, he's wearing the same pants as Buford did, but he actually has a skull in it, which I checked. And that's the second time he said that since the shake and bacon earlier. Wow, you gotta love Doofenshmirtz.
Wow, look at that. We may be the only ones left.
Yes and no. Doofenshmirtz because he's not really affecting, and also stick. Well,
If we don't make it, Danville falls.
I really love the way Vincent said Danville falls as it's urgent. I think they're just model sheets of a mindless pharmacist that's put in there. And they're climbing up, you better do it fast.
The vortex sprayer.
Every time I see the mindless pharmacist closing in, my heart is racing every single time when I first watch this. It's like, oh no.
We're not gonna make it.
You and Isabella will make it.
And I really love that Ferb sacrifice for his bro and Isabella to make it for the vortex sprayer. Love you, man. He's smacking them with the butt. There ain't no butt jokes in this episode apart from this.
I can't
Gonna save him, Mr. King. Go.
When Ferb got turned into a pharmacist, my heart was racing even faster because the stakes are so high, which makes the special episode so great, which is memorable.
If this is the end,
Mindless Pharmacist is chasing, and you wouldn't reveal your feelings now, but they did it in the most dramatic way, which actually gained a lot of love over it.
Come on. I like you too, Isabella.
And she reveals her feelings towards Phineas, and it's about time they finally let this in. After August the 17th, 2007 to October the 4th, 2014, 7 years, 1 month, and 18 days since we've been waiting for Isabella and Phineas to get together. We had some breadcrumbs, we had a lot of moments they came close, and none has that. But this special is finally time, but it won't last that long.
Gosh, I've always felt.
And he finally realized it. You've been oblivious the whole time as Isabella trying to get hints from you, but you don't know. But obviously it's Isabella's fault too, but obviously it finally time. This is one of the most well-written episodes of Finabella in this special. Isabella trying to get him attention earlier until the pharmacist raid happening, and she tried to do everything she can, but it ends up getting in the way again. I love that it slowly builds up from the start of the episode with the emotional bravery part, which she tried to get from telling the boy how she feels, and she did it until what happened next. As much as I like the at your rager part, even though some people don't like it, well, you can't have everything. I don't want to bring the Venpocalypse next. I'm glad they did, because we've been waiting this for so long, and this happens. But the inevitability will come to fore.
Get away from her!
Lots of me.
You can see Phineas mostly to do her as his face changes as it fades in afterwards, which is kind of adorable, but it's okay.
Get it together, Fireside. Gotta save Phineas. Gotta save Daniel. Just stop talking to yourself.
Also, a special mention to Alison Stoll. She plays a great voice acting role in this special. Well done. While the electric is around her, you get to see her nose become bigger as she morphs into Doofer. As she looks a bit weird in this thing, but she did press the red button on time, so it can work. Oh, look at this thing. Isabella becomes a pharmacist. And there it comes.